have somebody very special that I had a very nice written, prepared intro for that I can't find. So I'm going to wing it. This is a good friend of mine. He's been at Apple for about 3 years. You may have seen him on some of the videos we've done, and if you haven't seen him yet, you're going to see one at closing. He works in speech recognition, and he writes Star Trek scripts, although he hasn't sold any yet. But he's working on it. My good friend and your host for today's game, Mr. Ted Kopulos.
Hi, JD. Thanks. Thank you very much. Welcome to our special Mac Systems component version of Jeopardy. Are we ready to meet today's contestants? Now entering the stage are today's contestants from Santa Ana, a former Jungle Cruise guide at Disneyland who began his career as a guinea pig for mental experience at Stanford Medical Center. Now works as an area associate in IS&T, Marco Mancini. Our next contestant from Muncie, Indiana, a part-time ichthyologist and featured skater in Smurfs on Ice, who enjoys staring at his aquarium module of After Dark for hours on end, Daniel Benoit. And finally, from Butte, Montana, an ex-caption writer for TV Guide who was fired from his job at 5 Star News for accidentally identifying Morris Teradolsky as simply man on the left, Eric Faust. Go ahead and give yourself an identity right there on your buzzer. Are all three of you familiar with the game of Jeopardy? Yes. We give you the answers, you give us the questions. I'll briefly explain some of the rules for people who may not be familiar with it. We do have a board consisting of 6 categories and 5 answers in each category. We give them the answer, they must give me the correct question. For example, if the category is weights and measures, we give them the answer 5,280 miles. The correct question, or 5,280 feet. The correct question would be, what is a... That's why you're here and everybody else is back at the office. The players may only ring in with their buzzers after I finish reading the question. If they ring in too early, they may not answer or respond to that question, and that's entirely up to me. And the judges, of course. Also, in opening Jeopardy, we have 1 daily double, and we'll explain those when we get to them. And we have 2 daily doubles in Double Jeopardy, then we'll have Final Jeopardy after that. And audience, I have to ask your participation here by not participating. You can't blurt out the answers because we'll have to disqualify that answer. Also, you might be wrong. And also, they have to be able to hear me finish reading the question so they can, the answer so they can beep in. So I appreciate your help on that. Okay. Yes, I see nods of recognition. That's right. Last evening, I played the Blue Knight. Thank you very much. And Lady Jennifer, I had to throw her back. Okay. Okay, let's play a regular Jeopardy. Let's take a look at the board. Well, I hate being short-booped. Okay, let's take a look at the categories. The first one is hard drives. Second category, Sims. Our third category, A is for Apple. Notice the A is in quotes. That means the keyword in all responses begins with the letter A. Our next category, 2 VI/VX logic boards. It's an all-video category. You must identify the component highlighted in yellow. I see them sweating profusely. Our fifth category, acronyms. And our final category, cards, new bus cards. Okay, Marco, you came up here first. Let's have you start off by picking an amount and a category.
I'll take A is for Apple for 200.
And the answer is? You cannot log on to a server without this. Marco.
Computer. What is a computer?
Remember the category. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Eric or Dan?
Sorry?
Dan?
What is Apple Share?
Apple Share, judges? Okay. No, I'm sorry. Eric, do you want to try it or not?
What is a password?
No, the category is A, it's for Apple. What is? Access privileges. Okay, Marco, choose again, please.
Well, 200 was a little too hard, so let's go for 100.
Category?
Yeah, A is for Apple.
A is for Apple for 100. The answer is, when in a System 7.x Finder, the first item listed in the Apple menu. Time's up. Well, the correct answer, what is about this Macintosh? Marco.
I can't take the pressure. I can't. Let's go for A's for Apple under 300.
For 300, the answer is the time required to move a read head to a specific location on a storage device. Marco, too soon. Dan or Eric?
What is access time?
Beep in, please. Dan.
What is access time?
That is correct. Access time.
Yay!
Okay, Dan, please pick the next one.
Sims for 100.
And the answer is? A sim is 120 nanoseconds if its number string ends with these two numbers. Marco.
What is 20?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Eric or Dan? Dan.
What is 12?
That is correct. Dan, select, please.
Hard drives for 100.
The answer is? Optimizing a hard drive does this to its files. Dan.
Defragment sim.
Question, please.
What is defragmentation?
That is correct. Dan's on a roll. Go ahead, Dan. Shh, quiet, please. I can't hear him either.
Sims for 200.
Sims for 200. The answer is using 4 megabyte chips, the most RAM you can have in a Quadra 700. Marco.
That would be 32.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Eric or Dan?
36.
Eric.
What is 64?
That's also incorrect. Dan, you want to try it or not? Time's up.
128.
The correct answer, what is 20? Okay, Dan, you're the last correct questioner. Please pick.
Sims for 300.
The answer is Sims for 300. You can use the same RAM chips from a 2CI in these two laser writers. Dan.
What is F and G?
That is correct, the 2F and the 2G. Very good. Dan, pick again.
Sims 400.
The answer is the Quadra 800 logic board comes with this much onboard RAM. Marco.
What is 8 megs?
That is correct, 8 megs. Okay, Marco, please select the next.
Let's go for acronyms for 100.
And the answer is RAM. Dan.
What is random access memory?
That's correct. Dan, go ahead and select. Eric's feeling the same way.
Sims for 500.
Sims for 500, and the answer is, although introduced this year, it only comes with 512K of RAM. Marco, quiet please in the audience.
What is a Newton?
That's incorrect. Eric or Dan, you want to try?
No.
Okay, the correct question, what is a Laser Writer Select 300 board? You knew that, right? Yeah, you knew that. Okay, our last correct questioner was Marco? Dan, I'm sorry, Dan, go ahead.
A's for Apple 400.
And the answer is, this provides an interface between an application and a file server. It's a painting over there. Time's up. What is Apple Talk? Filing protocol. Sorry, Apple Talk filing protocol. Okay, Dan, pick
A's for Apple 500.
Wrapping up the category, an area of memory in the application partition that contains the application's code, segment 1, data structures, and resources. Dan.
What is application heap?
That's correct. What is application heap? Okay, Blister and Dan, select again.
Acronyms for 200.
For 200, the answer is SCSI. Eric.
What is Small Computer Systems Interface?
We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. All right, Eric, select. I never thought I'd say that. Eric, select.
Finally, I may want to stay with acronyms for 300.
Oh, idea. MIDI. Eric.
What is music? Digital interface? Something?
Incorrect. It's incomplete. Marco.
Musical instrument digital interface.
That is correct. Okay, Marco, select.
I'll take acronyms for 400.
For 400, CD-ROM. Marco.
Compact disc read-only memory.
Question, please.
What is compact disc read-only memory?
That is correct. Marco.
Well, let's wrap up that category.
Acronyms for 500. PMMU. Eric.
What is Page Memory Management Unit?
That is correct. Excellent. Okay, we have 3 categories left, Eric. Go ahead and select.
Cards for 100.
Cards for 100. The number of new bus slots in a Quadra 950. Eric.
What is 5?
Correct. Eric, select.
Cards for 200.
Card for 200. The number of standard new bus slots in a Mac LC. Marco.
None.
Question, please?
What is none?
Okay.
I can't. No questions.
Okay, Marco, select, please.
I'll take cards for 300.
For 300. Until the Quadra, this popular LAN required a card for network access. Marco.
What is Ethernet?
Correct. What is Ethernet?
Cards for 400.
For 100. The first Mac to contain a cache connector. Marco.
What is the CI?
That's correct.
He buzzes so fast.
Select, Marco.
Does that thing
Cards
work?
for 500.
The only Mac that contains 2 internal new bus slots. Time's up. A moment of silence. What is the Quadra 700?
Oh.
Marco, select.
I'll take hard drives for 200.
For 200. Access time is measured in these units. Marco, too soon. Eric or Dan?
Milliseconds.
Buzz in,
what are
please.
milliseconds?
Dan buzzed in before you.
What are milliseconds?
That is correct. I detect favoritism here.
Yeah, it does work.
It does work.
I was not sure.
That's what I've heard. Okay, Dan.
Hard drives for 300.
Hard drives for 300. This Mac was the first to feature an internal 80 megabyte drive as an option. Marco.
What is the SE30?
Incorrect, I'm sorry. Dan or Eric? Dan.
What is the CI?
Incorrect also. Eric, you want to try it?
What is the CX?
Also incorrect. What is the Mac 2? Responsive reading from the audience, thank you. Turn in your hymnal books to 437. Okay, our last correct, I believe, was Dan.
Hard drives for 400.
The material which comprises the disk writing surface. Any chemistry students here? Time's up. What is? Iron oxide. Good. Nobody got it. All right. One of my favorite groups, too. Dan, go ahead and select.
Hard drives for 500.
The answer is the largest internal drive Apple makes available for the Centris 610. Eric.
What is 230?
It's incorrect. Dan.
What is 500 megabytes?
That is correct. 500 megabytes. $500. We have one category untouched. Dan, where are you going to go?
100.
100 logic boards. All video category, remember. 100. What is this? Marco.
What is the SCSI connector?
That is correct. Go ahead and select, Marco.
I'll take the 200.
Okay, the 200 thing.
Yeah.
Answer is the Daily Double. Marco? Okay.
How much do I have?
His current score is 0, is that correct?
I'll bet it all.
His current score? In regular Jeopardy, you may bet up to $500, and this is for you only.
I'll bet.
Uh-oh, what happened here?
Go for it.
I can't see any scores. So I need scores to make an informed decision.
Do we know what? Are we okay, Gary?
Hello, the judges.
Add a couple
are
of
talking.
zeros.
Be quiet. The judges are deciding right now.
Is there an ATM in the house?
The scores disappeared.
I'm afraid we'll have to start the game again.
Okay. Let's get those dancers out again, okay? The ATC dancers.
So if he misses it, what then?
He'll determine how much he wants to bet.
We do that in 3 more answers.
That's what he's going to lose?
Let's go ahead and do that now. Can I move to my mobile mic, please, here, while we linger at the Daily Double? Marco.
Hi, how are you?
What do you do at Apple?
I'm at Apple Canada in Markham, and I'm in inside sales.
You're inside sales. Do you want to mention your manager's name so we get a better review?
They're not here, so it wouldn't matter.
Oh, good.
Mark Baruch. There we go.
But we are recording this session, and will be forwarded
Yes.
to your group.
Okay, then we are. Mark Baruch.
Thanks, Marco. Dan, what do you do at Apple?
I'm a tax accountant.
You're a tax accountant. So this has been a slow week for you then.
Yeah, kind of.
Do Apple's income taxes?
Yes.
How do we do this year?
We don't know yet. It's not done.
Okay, well, will it pay off the balance, the American balance, the deficit?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay. Well, wasn't it that bad?
Well, we'll see what Clinton does with that.
Oh, yeah. Eric, what do you do at Apple?
I'm the desktop services person for Brussels, Belgium.
Mm-hmm. And
newly the Benelux region. We're kind of merging the countries.
Kind of merging, that's right. How's it going over there?
Geography is in old style.
Is it going well over there? Smooth, seamless? Like everything else at Apple?
We're reorganizing.
A reorg. That's a word I've never heard before. Okay, are we about set? Double Jeopardy. They all have $2,000. They're doing great. It's incredible.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, let's read the categories for Double Jeopardy. The categories are potent portables, other peripherals, laser writers, monitors, third party, and Mac Potpourri, one of our favorites. Marco, since you didn't get to have the Daily Double in the first round, go ahead and select at the beginning of Double Jeopardy.
Let's go with laser writers for 200.
For 200, the answer is the only laser writer with a 60020 processor chip. Eric.
What is it, 2NTX?
That is correct, the 2NTX. He is avenged. Okay, Eric, go ahead.
Monitors for 200.
Monitor 2, a 15-inch diagonal tube. It only comes in monochrome. Eric.
Was I too fast?
Pardon me?
Was I too fast?
That's not the right question. What's your, go ahead.
Okay, in Europe, what is an A4 display?
I have no idea. Is that correct?
Portrait.
Yes, what is it? Portrait display monitor.
Thank you.
Okay, Eric, select.
Okay, third party 200.
Third for 200. This Seattle-based software company makes Persuasion and Freehand. Marco.
What is Aldis?
Yes, what is Aldis? What is Pause Aldis? Go ahead, Marco.
I'll take third party for 4.
Third party for 4. The earliest Mac 2s featured internal 40 megabyte drives made by this company. Marco.
What is Seagate?
That's not what we have. Eric or Dan. That's incorrect. Eric.
What is Quantum?
That is correct. The smackable hard drive. Okay, Eric, select. Oh, that one too. Okay, I smacked many Quantums in my life. Go ahead, Eric.
Anyways, monitors for 400.
Monitors for 4. The lightest weight Macintosh monitor still being sold. Eric.
What is the 12-inch monitor?
More specific?
The only one, I mean. The ones for the LC and stuff?
We'll give it to him, the monochrome monitor, 12-inch monochrome. We're so strict. Eric, go ahead, select again.
One heavier?
Yeah.
Is it?
We'll be back to College Bowl after this. Eric, go ahead and select.
Let's move to laser writers, 400.
All right, 400. The first 2 laser writers to use photograde technology. Marco.
What is the laser writer 2F and 2G?
Correct, the 2F and 2G. Marco, select.
Let's go for potent portables for 2.
2. 15.6672 megahertz MC68HC000 16 microprocessor. It's one of my favorite songs. Marco.
What is the PowerBook? No. That's the regular.
Time's up. Eric or Dan? Dan.
What is the Mac Portable? The CPU in the Mac Portable.
That's incorrect. Eric, do you want to try? You don't have to.
Yeah, which one?
Time's up. What is the
Mac
PowerBook
board?
100 microprocessor? Okay. Pardon me?
That was the same.
Was it, judges? The Mac Portable. Is it the original processor? Nod your heads, otherwise we're all going to get shot.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Let's give correct. Marco came up with that. Please credit him with $400. Dan, I'm sorry. Give Dan $400. Take $400 from Marco. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Marco should have 2,000.
Hey, don't touch my score.
Don't touch Marco. Marco's very sensitive about that.
Hey, man.
Marco should have 2,000.
2,000.
Okay, here we go. Dan, select.
Other peripherals for 200.
Potent
No, other peripherals.
Other peripherals for 200. Its round shape fits the contour of the palm of your hand. The front ball design allows finer movement with ease. Marco.
What is the Kensington mouse?
Not what I have. Dan.
What's the new ergonomic mouse?
I'll give it to you. Yes, Apple Desktop Bus Mouse 2. The sequel. Okay, Dan, go ahead.
Other peripherals for 400.
For 400. This peripheral uses both color sync and O photo. Marco.
What is the color, the color one scanner?
Correct, the color one scanner.
Okay,
Marco, select.
Oh, what is monitors for 600?
Let's find out. The old 13-inch RGB monitor has been replaced by this one. Marco.
The Apple Color Display.
Question,
what is
please.
the Apple Color Display?
That is correct. Okay.
Oh, it's been
He's going to be talking in questions for the rest of the week now. Marco, go ahead.
Monitors for 800.
For 800. 52 by 870 pixels, 79 DPI, 3 ADB ports, and tilt and swivel base. Dan.
What is the 21-inch color display?
That is correct. 21-inch, 2-page display. Dan, select please.
Other peripherals for 600.
The resolution of a Style Writer 2. I will lose weight. I will lose weight. Eric, Dan, Marco? Marco.
What is 360 DPI?
Correct, 360 DPI. Select Marco.
Laser writers for 6.
For 6. The most 8.5-inch by 11-inch pages per minute a Laser Writer 2 engine can print. Marco.
What is 8 pages per minute?
Correct, 8 pages per minute. Marco.
Laser writers for 8.
Of the 2NT Pro 630 or 2G, the printer to which a hard drive cannot be attached. Too soon, Marco. Eric or Dan? Eric.
2NT. What is 2NT?
Correct. What is the 2NT? Eric, select.
Potpourri for 200.
For 200. The Apple Custom IC in the Mac SE30 that handles RAM, video and sound, and selects devices. Shh, quiet please. Time's up. What is the BBU or Bob Bailey unit? Eric, select. Everyone's going, huh? What?
Okay, Potpourri 400.
For 400. Of the 610, 630, or 650, the one that is not a centrist. Marco.
What is a 630?
Correct. 630. Almost too early on that, but not quite. Go ahead, Marco.
Thanks a lot for your support. Laser writer for 1,000, please.
For 1,000. A daily double.
Don't wipe out the scores.
What's the score?
Yes, did you write the scores down before we got to the daily double? I believe this is a video daily double. You currently have 4,400. You may wager all of it or part of it.
Calm down. I'll go for $1,000.
Okay, the wager is $1,000.
Okay, $1,500.
Okay, $1,500. Bids are now closed. This isn't Price is Right. It's not Price is Right. Go on down. Go on down. Okay, and here's the video screen for $1,000. Marco only.
60. Oh, that is the Laser Writer NTX 2. Laser Writer 2. What is the Laser Writer 2 NTX?
Correct.
Hey.
Marco jumped to 54 with that. Go ahead and select.
I'll take Mac Potpourri for 600.
For 600, Mac Potpourri. 25 megahertz, 68030 processor, and only 3.2 inches high. Time's up. What is the LC3? The Mac LC3. Marco, select.
Third party for 6.
For 600. 1 Microsoft Way, Redmond, Washington, 98052. Dan.
What is Microsoft's address?
That's right, correct.
Where does Bill Gates?
Dan, go ahead.
Third parties for 800.
For 800. The owners and creators of OPhoto. Shh. Quiet, please. Time's up. What is Light Source? Dan, go ahead and select.
Third parties for 1,000.
Tough one. Maker of MacTrack 2.0. Time's up. What is Microspeed Incorporated? We all did really well on that category. Go ahead, Dan, select.
Other peripherals for 800.
For 800, other peripherals. The fastest baud rate in a modem made by Apple. Marco.
What is 14.4?
Right, correct. 14400 BPS. Marco.
but we haven't seen that modem yet. Okay, so Mac Potpourri for 800.
For 800, Mac Potpourri. The slowest processor available with an internal CD-ROM drive. Marco.
What is the 030 processor?
Correct. 2VI, 2VX, and perform a line. Go ahead, Marco.
Monitors for 1,000.
Monitors for 1,000. Of 70, 130, and 165 watts, the maximum power usage of the 16-inch color display. 3-in-1 chance. Nobody's going for it. Dan.
What's 130?
Correct. What is 130? For $1,000, Dan, select.
Other for 1,000.
Other peripherals for 1,000. At double speed, this peripheral's rotation speed is 1060 RPM. Marco.
What is CD300?
Correct. What is the CD300? Very good. Marco.
Potent portables for 400.
For 400. 16-inch megahertz CMOS microprocessor, 1 megabyte low-power static RAM, 1, 2, or 4 megabytes of pseudo-static RAM, and a 640 by 400 pixel screen. Marco.
What is the Mac Portable?
Correct. What is a Mac Portable? Marco, select.
Potent portables for 600.
For 600. The first PowerBook to feature a color screen. Marco.
What is a PowerBook 165C?
Correct. Marco, select.
Potent portables for 800.
For 800. Eric.
What's a PowerBook motherboard?
For, more specifically?
For 140, 170?
Correct. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, Eric, we have two answers left. Go ahead and select.
Portables for 1,000.
No prompting.
The fastest PowerBook that uses a Super Twist grayscale display. Eric.
What's the PowerBook 160?
Incorrect, I'm sorry. Dan.
What's the Duo 230?
Incorrect also. What is the PowerBook Duo 230?
Duo 230.
We're looking for the PowerBook, the name of the PowerBook, not the board or the specifics in it. Correct, judges? Am I correct in that?
Duo 230.
What did he say first?
Duo 230.
That's right.
Okay, we'll give it to him then. Please credit Dan with $2,000. Credit Dan with $2,000, $5,800. And Dan, our final answer, Mac Potpourri for 1,000. The Audio Daily Double.
All right.
Okay, you currently have, that should be 5,800, should it not? Yeah. Okay, maybe wager all of it or part of it.
Go for it, Dan.
3,000.
3,000. Okay, this is for Dan only. Please listen carefully.
What is no memory in a Mac?
Judges? Can't see you. Nope. We have what is a Mac error tone?
Yeah.
Is that correct, judges, or not? I'm
No,
getting a big no from the
you would not
judges.
know. No.
Okay, that's incorrect.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. But don't worry, we still have Final Jeopardy coming up. Contestants, please get your cards out and your writing implements. And during the commercial, I want you to write down how much you want to wager. Currently, we have Marco in the lead with 9,000, Eric with 3,800, and Dan with 2,800. Let's go ahead and find out our category for Final Jeopardy, and it is, Dr. Z, our category, Apple History. We'll come back to find out the Final Jeopardy answer after this word. Okay, I want to explain again the rules for Final Jeopardy. They can wager all or part of what they have. They'll have 30 seconds to write down their response in the form of a question. Please be sure it's in that form. Okay, our Final Jeopardy answer in Apple history is August 6th, 1950. Good luck. No copying from others' work. Okay, all set? We'll go ahead and listen to the song. So feel free to sing along if you know the words. Everybody? Good, okay. Okay, we'll go to Dan first. Dan, what is your question?
What is Jobs' birthday?
Incorrect. What was your wager?
$27.99.
$27.99 takes you down to 1. Eric, what is your question?
What is Steve's birthday?
Incorrect. What was your wager?
Everything.
All of it. So Dan is holding on to second. Marco, what is your final question?
Where's my pen?
Not too late. Too late.
I wagered 500, being the gambler that I am.
And what was your question?
What is Steve Jobs' birthday?
Incorrect. The correct response. What is Steve Wozniak's birthday? Marco is our winner with $8,500. Congratulations, Marco. Stay there, guys. You'll never guess what we have for them. To Marco, our winner, the home version of Jeopardy Plus, a cap and mouse pad. Dan, a home version of Jeopardy. And Eric, there you go. Nicely done, guys. You were terrific.
Thank you.
Way to go. Thank you. Okay, a few reminders before we wrap it up this evening. Remember to fill out your evaluation forms. Also by the door on your way out, there are the handouts with all the questions and answers that we did this evening. And if you have any problems with any of them, JD Warrick, link JD Warrick. And remind you, your next sessions start at 2 o'clock in approximately 15 minutes. Thank you all very much. You were terrific for playing Jeopardy. See you next year.